Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Muscle Secret Show. We are at 4:30 a.m. As always, Wednesdays through Sundays. Catch us on the show. All right.
What up?
What
What's going
up?
on, guys? Good to see you. Good to be here. Counting calories made me fat.
Counting calories made me fat. Damn.
How does that look walking through that process?
Well, if you just count calories, you don't know if you're getting enough fats, protein, or carbs. You're just counting the calories, that number. That can really lead you astray. And if you're trying to get lean. What
And
about you?
it's almost impossible to get lean without counting calories unless you have these tools for macronutrition.
Mhm.
So
So,
what does that look like coming from somebody who has been doing it for all these years in your experience?
mhm.
What does it look like of macronutrition to get lean? Is there any things that they have to go through to learn that process?
Yeah, man, we're gonna talk today about that exactly is setting up the diet, the calorie intake. So we're gonna start there. There's three things. What are those three things, man? Yeah, the macros, right? What are those three things?
There's a few different macros, but macros is an umbrella term for calories, fat, proteins, and carbs. Macronutrition, the actual word, is this scary phenomenon that a lot of us are intimidated by, but it's really the nutrition label that you see on your can of Coca-Cola.
Yeah. So that's number one is calorie intake. Okay. Number two is macros. This is the secret.
Well, remember, brother, the macros is it encompasses the calories. Like
Right.
macros is the term for the entire nutrition label. The calorie intake is somebody's storage unit of food that they take.
Right. So you have on the back of that nutrition label, you have the calories. But what makes up calories is the macronutrients. You got protein on the very bottom of the nutrition label. You got carbs right in the middle, and you got fats, dietary fats on the very top, right? And what we're doing is we're trying to figure out your calorie intake. Calories make up macros make up calories. So we want to get the right amount, just the right amount of protein, carbs, and fats, which make up calories, which make up what are those ratios so you can get the best result possible, which is body recomposition and staying lean all year round, right?
Like that. Like that. So,
Yeah.
well, let's start with
Everybody
proteins.
remember.
How did you figure this out? What was your story behind finding out macronutrition and the differences of calories? Because I learned it actually from
Yeah.
trial and error and
Oh yeah.
eating a bunch of foods that wasn't so good for me. So
Yeah.
next to my when I first started my journey, it was at my high school, and right next to my high school, we had a taco shop. This taco shop was flaming, man. I'm talking flaming hot burritos, had Cheeto dust in them, and so after school, I would always go over there and have some carne asada fries and all these burritos, but they were high in calories. They were high in calories, high in carbs, high in fats, and not so
Oh,
much in the protein area. And so even though that I was having all those macronutrients, it wasn't adding to my muscle physique. It wasn't making me look good. I had to learn quickly that these little numbers actually make a difference.
these
And
little, yeah.
those little guys, man. And it started with calories. I looked at the calories of a burrito. I had no idea that the burrito I was eating was about 1,500 calories. which is
Hmm.
my entire intake now of what I eat, basically.
Love it. Yeah.
And after learning that, I started to make a change in how many calories I should be eating rather than what the calories I just get to the taco shop willy-nilly and say like, you know what, I'm gonna have a carne asada burrito or a hot Cheeto burrito just because I deserve it and feel like it. Or if you want to be
Yeah.
fat, then that's what you do. But if you don't want to be fat, then you gotta pay attention to these numbers. So how did you learn in your experience?
Yeah, man. That's a great example. For me, is kind of the same thing. I thought you have to eat big to get big. So I would just eat everything in sight. I would eat a bunch of carbs, bunch of fats, and like, yeah, give me more of those fats, give me all those carbs. And I would even eat a lot of protein too. But you know where that got me? Just shitting everything out the toilet and just looking fluffy, not looking lean at all, not even there. You get like I just ate everything in sight, but I was lifting weights, but I didn't get the physique I wanted. So then came around where I actually started studying this myself, and I started creating like a framework to help myself, which now I help my clients with. And I call that the 5 steps forward, 2 steps back framework during a given week of 7 days. So 5 days out of the week, I'm hitting my macros, my maintenance macros. Right, this is for body recomposition, and I'm doing progressive overload training every single week. I'm upping the weight, upping the sets, slowing down the negatives. And then there's 2 days out of the week where I'm going like caloric surplus, going like 6,000, 5,000 this way. And then I can stay lean all year round by creating this framework.
How does that look throughout your week? If you're eating 6,000 calories,
Yeah.
someone might be looking at that thinking like they can eat 6,000 calories a week.
Yeah, man.
See,
Yeah, you can.
and they're thinking, man, 6,000 calories, man. I could probably have that on Monday or Wednesday, and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Thursday. Why not the whole week? Why
Don't be
not
doing.
all? You know.
Yeah.
So,
So
how did you learn that you can have the 6,000 calories and 5,000 calories,
yeah,
and the rest of the week just keep, strong on your macronutrients? How did
yeah,
you figure that out?
yeah. So I realized with this 5 steps forward, 2 steps back framework, I have to be in a caloric deficit like that those 5 days.
Was there anything that you saw on the internet that gave you the idea to figuring that out? Because there had to be a place to where you started without that framework.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what
So
what started that?
I saw Dwayne the Rock Johnson doing this. He did he did 6 days and then 1 step back. On that Sunday, he called it Sunday cheat days. But he's very disciplined, and I admired that. So I kind of took that framework and said, let's just do this 5 days and then 2 steps back. But during the 5 days, you have to be in a caloric deficit, meaning your net energy has to be minus at least 500 or 1,000. You have to be in a caloric deficit of 500, 1,000 calories. And I don't do that through eating less. I actually do that through moving more. So during the 5 days, I'm getting like 25,000 steps in, 30,000 steps in, right? So I'm able to be in that caloric deficit while eating at maintenance. So everyone will eventually get there. Like the people in my program, they have to get there. They have to earn the right to be in that state. But there's a process to it, right? So
Yeah, I like that framework actually. Um,
yeah,
like a lot of people would benefit from it, being able to almost eat whatever they would like, a couple of days out of the week when going strong. It almost gives them a sense of accomplishment. Um,
yeah,
the framework I follow is called moderation. It's been thrown around society everywhere, but basically moderation and the frameworks that I use, I make this calorie number and then I just eat below it. Now, eating below it can be a burrito. It could be kind of salad fries. It could be spinach on toast, whatever food item it is. All it has to meet is the required calories that I eat per day. So I don't really go super hard on my diets. I just make sure that I'm within my calorie intake every day. And that allows me to eat what I want pretty much every day. If I want
Right.
if I want an ice cream cone, then I can have the damn ice cream cone. If I want a chocolate cake, I can have a chocolate cake. Matter of fact, I can have a chocolate cake every single day and still look lean. And that's the framework that I have. Because being a fat guy, I love food. So I naturally have this tendency to gravitate towards food as vices. And I had to figure out this framework in order to lose weight. My implications was I like food, don't want to give up the food that I love, but I still want to lose weight. I still want to look good. So struggling with that, I started experimenting with different calorie intakes. What if I ate 2,500 calories flat and did a bunch of running? What if
Yeah.
I ate 1,800 calories flat and I did a lot of weight training? If I did hit cardio. So I did all these different methods, and I came to figuring out that if as long as I'm under my BMR, which is my maintenance metabolic rate, and I add a little bit of cardio, doesn't have to be every day, but 3 times a week, I'm able to have whatever I please as long as I'm hitting my calorie counts. And I like to add vegetables and fruits because it makes my body feel a lot better moving around throughout the day. And I drink my water to make sure my nutrients get through my body. But when you're first starting out, all you really have to look at is the calories that you are inputting inside your body. If you are underneath your calorie intake, you're going to inevitably lose weight. If you are adding some weight training, you're going to tone out your body as you're losing weight. And if you add in cardio, you're going to get shredded and leaner faster. So your calorie intake is your basic number that you need to follow. As long as you're underneath that, you're going to get lean if you have exercises involved into that. And that's what I learned from my framework. And that's what I carry on to my day to day. Like yesterday, I had pizza, man. Like I had pizza and I woke up today, I still have my fucking abs. I still have my chest. The day before that, I had a burrito and I still have my biceps and stuff like that. It's only when I go over my calorie intake is when my body starts to lose my definition. But it wouldn't make a difference if I'm under. So that's what I teach my clients. I show them how to manipulate their calorie intake so that they can still enjoy their foods and enjoy their life. If they want to go out to the football game and have a bunch of beers, I teach them how to do that and still look good doing it. What if the big screen takes a video of you and you're right there, you got like you're gagged and you're having a beer in your hand? You know, that's possible. You don't have to be the fat guy with the beer belly. You don't got to be that guy. You can be the guy with the abs and a beer in your hand. That's what I teach my.
Yeah, exactly. It's all manipulation of these three damn things, man. That's it. Yeah,
Understanding what exactly they do because calories made me fat. Counting calories got me fat.
man, counting calories made me stupid.
And it's just you gotta understand it. Once you understand it, you can change it. So, it's like riding a bike. When you first start out, you're trying to understand how your legs kind of move and your balance. You're gonna eat shit a couple times, and that's okay. But you keep going on that bike, eventually you're gonna get it. You're gonna realize that if you stay upright and you keep pedaling, that's the basic, that's the basic form. And then you
Yeah,
see people like Tony Hawk start doing like some weird tricks on their bikes and shit like that. But they
yeah,
started from the basic form, and calories is your basic form.
yeah. It takes practice. You gotta practice. And you gotta put in effort. Practice means failing. So keep practicing. You know.
Mhm.
So
What
the
is
next,
some,
go
what
ahead.
is some tactics that someone could use when they're trying to figure out their calorie intake?
Yeah, tactics would be the next point, which is nutrient timing. this is a very useful tool. So I like to time like my meals. So and distribute them evenly throughout the day. So I know that I need to be eating at least, let's say you're starting now, right? 3 meals a day. And then I figure out my macros. What are my macros, right? What's my maintenance macros? And then I distribute that evenly throughout 3 meals. And why I distribute, like, why do I do nutrient timing, and why do I distribute my meals evenly? Like, there's meal one, meal two, or there's meal three, right? And so it allows me to maintain my protein intake because I want to be lean and have muscle. So that when I'm distributing my meals, I'm getting a sufficient amount of protein like every 4 hours. And this is really useful during the work week when it's very busy. Yeah. So that's why I distribute my meals and I meal prep.
Is there a method to the 3 meals that you have every day? Some people, they're so busy that they can't eat breakfast. They just have a cup of coffee. And in my case, where I work at, a lot of the individuals there only have a cup of coffee before they start the day off. And so I've been shifting my framework with how I do food and macro timing. I usually I no longer eat breakfast. I fast. I
Oh, I
drink.
love that. Yeah, that's what I do too.
A side note with fasting, it also makes good brain power. You're well awake. You're not digesting foods with more energy. Um, but when you fast, and you still need to get your protein intake, still need to get your carbs, foods. So lunchtime is my first meal of the day, and somebody might benefit from doing that because usually in the morning you have all these shit that you gotta do. You have to text and email people. You have to talk to people. You need all that energy. And once it comes to lunchtime, that's when you have your first meal. You can have pretty much anything you want as long as you're not having a buffet. You don't want to go to hometown buffet and start getting some. But if you want a burrito, you can have that burrito, man. Like it's already 12 o'clock. You can enjoy that burrito. Get back to work. And at the end of the day, you have your second meal, and the second meal can be slightly different depending on what you had for your first meal. So if you had a big lunch, then you wouldn't necessarily have a big dinner. You would have a little bit lower dinner. But let's say you had a salad for lunch.
Yeah.
Uh, then when come dinner, and you come home to your wife has this nice, glorious meal for you. Guess what? You could eat it without feeling bad. And you don't have to tell her that, hey, this is ruin my macro count. I'm trying to lose weight here. You can actually just enjoy it and have a good time.
Yeah. Or you could just tell her, hey, babe, make sure it's made this way.
Yeah, you can. Um, but hey, if it works for your situation,
Yeah.
do it. But we don't want you guys to get into a fight over it.
Yeah. We don't want that, man. Or she may not be the right one.
You know, that's a tough one. So if it works for you, I understand that you guys have to work in congruence with one another. So if she likes
Yeah.
cooking you big meals and you like the big meals, but you're trying to lose the weight, then there's something that you could do by not eating so much during the lunch so you can come home and enjoy the meal while she obviously enjoys making you the meal. She enjoys, stuffing you with food. So you guys are both happy at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big balancing act. So yeah, this whole framework, guys, right here makes up the calorie intake. This is like the first 4 steps that you need to do. The last one was figure out your meal source, your food sources. make sure they're coming from like quality foods. I really like um, just if you can keep the food as simple as possible without any added like excess like oils or processed, then this is best, right? During for my clients is during the 5 days, you want to be eating like just lean chicken, lean meats, right? Um, nothing crazy like rice. I, I really like the chicken broccoli and rice method, the ground turkey rice, and because it gets results. But
It
then
does get results,
yeah,
and
I really
there's
like
nothing wrong with the chicken,
it's nothing
broccoli, and rice. There's nothing
people hate.
wrong with it. Um, I would substitute the rice in my case to. I love rice, man. I love
Yeah,
rice, but I would substitute it for wheat bread. I just recently started eating more wheat bread just because
yeah,
of the added nutrients. Um, but at the end of the day, it's a carb. It's
yeah,
just for energy. Choose your carb.
yeah. Um, Another good one is like sweet potatoes. I haven't been eating enough sweet potatoes, but sweet potatoes are really good, high in potassium, um, good in
I
fiber.
think I think
So,
we can go over types of foods that they can be
yeah,
eating and the different macronutrients that go along with it that would most
yeah,
benefit them and their goals.
yeah. We'll
In the
do that
next
tomorrow. Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow, guys. Um, then come back up here. Time your meals. Instead of being a victim to eating whatever it is out there, you actually structure your eating. This is like really important, right? And then the next one is like macros, knowing your ratios, and everybody's different, right? And lastly, calorie intake. That's the big idea, but then broken down is macros. So these four things can really set you up for success. So guys, tomorrow we'll talk about food sources and what types of macros each of those have. And yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this one.
Hope it was very informative for you guys. We'll go over this framework again tomorrow, but this time we're going to go into the specifics of certain foods of what you can have to most benefit your macronutrients and get you the results that you're looking for. If you're looking for any coaching or any more tips, please hit one of us up and we'll be gladly to answer any of your questions. As always, always good to see you guys and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Yep. All right, guys. Peace.